So this is the module environment, and you have the overarching topic up here, which is how do I make a success of my first management role? And then it breaks down into subtopics, which I'll show you in a minute. There is a tutor that comes on first who explains what the module is all about and what you're going to cover as a learner within it. There are 3 ways you can navigate. You can click Next, you can pull up what we call a metaphor, which in this case is an office, and each room within this office block is colour-coded based on the sub-objective of the overarching learning goal. So the story follows a person called Paul in this case, who visits each room and gets a different piece of learning from a different manager in one of these rooms. The third way of navigating is the menu itself, where you can see all of those learning sequences, or the sub-objectives of the main goal, are broken down here, and then the individual learning points and activities are followed through. As we move down the bottom here, the subtitles that come up are subtitles of what is being said on the screen. You can easily change the language here, they're built in. So if, for example, I wanted Mandarin, I could simply pull it up and the module reloads and it is in fully localized Mandarin. So from our point of view, we practice true localization, which means that we don't add subtitles and we don't dub. We actually reshoot the videos, we adapt the content to the context of the language that we're in. So I can turn the subtitles on and off, I can change the language. There are documents that are associated with each e-learning module, and they can be downloaded and used during the learning, but really it's about what do you do with them afterwards, about applying the learning. If there are any templates that we can offer which can be used ongoing, that's really the key. So when I enter into a learning sequence, I can also make my own notes wherever I am. So in this first learning sequence, I can type in what I need, and I can even leave it and I can come back and they stay there and it's historic. So I don't have to complete this 30-minute module all in one go. I can do it in my morning break, over lunch, and in my afternoon break. At the end of the module, I can click the synthesis and find a learning summary of each learning sequence in terms of key messages. If I've made any notes, they're captured here too. So I can print and save those and refer to them later. So if I go into a learning activity itself, the first learning sequence within this is, what does it mean to be a manager? I've never been a manager before. So the idea here is that Paul, we follow him, and he goes to 6 different offices, and he talks to the manager in each of those offices, who reveals what they feel being a manager is all about. I have to reveal all of these before I can go on to the next page, and then we immediately assess whether we've taken in that knowledge through an activity. There are around 35 different types of activity like this, which means that the learner can be more engaged, and if they do more than one module, they're not seeing the same thing time and time again. Where we have more behavioral-based learning, then we use videos. So for example, in this case and this learning sequence, Paul is going to run his first meeting. So here, what he's found are 3 videos of a manager starting a meeting, and he's going to see if he's got some learning out of them. So where it's behavioural and where it really leads to a next action, so application to the actual meeting I'm going to run, we can play a video and we can ask questions around that video and capture what the key learnings are for the individual. And at the end of the module, much like the beginning, we have the same tutor who comes up to talk about what are the key messages from the learning, but also as a call to action of what we can do next. Here's some things to have in mind, and here's some suggestion about what to do now.